There is no power. How suspicious?
How suspicious?
Or obvious.
Or obvious. Ah, yes. Good old Kino der Toten.
I will teach them from a distance.
I was hoping they would say, the kidneys will be all mine, but not for you, Dempsey. But, you know, we'll see.
If I run out of I feel the power. I need to find some ammunition. Without bullets, I'll have to resort to stabbing! Double points! More score! Of the dam! I can smell my own blood! Hear me! I am paying for pain!
Alright. That's gonna be a reset. I'm not.
We need to bring right to this dark place. Fine weapon. I will use my bare hand. Path of the virtuous gives grace. You will feel the power in my veins. Send you to your ancestors. Die, thou creature. The spirits come to me. Nice timing! yourself, monster! Die, monster! Now we can continue the fight. Destruction reigns on the unholy.
I would really hate to have to restart this run simply because the boxing's in a bad spot. No, this isn't looking good. This isn't looking good at all. Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, sounds like a big monster is attacking the building.
It does.
Hero of delight. Not on this day, tormented soul. Oh, breath has come from above. A drink that requires a mature palate. I fear no dog. You cannot take that which is not yours. The tide tips in our favor. more meat for you. Smells like rotten sushi. Terrified.
I might have to get some more ammo. Unless I can squeak out 10k from this alone, you know, we'll have to see. Or a max ammo. We could probably get one of the two. Hello, one viewer.
Vengeance waits for no ammunition. True warrior needs no weapon.
And that guy's stuck on the stairs again.
I'm still at odds with Yarasaka. Give him a hand. Back to nothing but you. For 1,000 wombats, you die! I have no ammo. I have no honor. Not on this day, tormented soul. Double points. You had an unhappy ending. Strike is weak. Looking for more ammunition. I will use my bare hand. May the weapon be blessed by the ancestor. I will soon need ammunition. A true warrior forges his own blade. Now with more honor. This weapon will be useless without worry. Vengeance waits for no ammunition. Now, they die.
Alright, we'll expel as much ammo as we can out of this HK-21. Yeah, we'll just keep expelling ammo. Play that song again. Aiga.
Blessings come from above. Fetch me their soul. Here's the beast.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. A huge part of why I love the Donkey Kong series is this. So shout out to David Wise for creating such iconic...
The spirits come to aid us.
King K. Rool, everyone's favorite unhinged gold-plated menace. Sometimes he's a big, booming villain with an arsenal of tricks up his sleeve and an aura like no other, and other times his chest ain't even gold. Today, we're gonna look at King K. Rool's character in every game he appears in and rank him from worthless to elite. K. Rool first appeared in the OG Donkey Kong Country, where he's got an army of clocks called the Kremlings working beneath him. They sealed DK's banana horde right out the gate. I guess Diddy was left in charge overnight, and this dude can't stop a note. The next morning, DK's enraged and sets out to defeat whoever's responsible. But he doesn't actually know it's capable yet, and the game mostly keeps his identity a secret until you encounter him again. Even the game's manual keeps his design a surprise and makes his bio very vague, but don't keep him a mystery man until you yourself make it to the finale of this incredibly difficult platform. So you board the Gangplank Galleon, keep a powerful, iconic sea shanty beat kick in, and enter the presence of this big bad reptile. His design isn't the most menacing, with the bright red cape and goofy, cartoony eyes, but he is considerably larger than Donkey Kong. And the way the ship rocks and shakes from him throwing his crushing weight around makes you feel like you're very much at his mercy. The build-up may do a phenomenal job, but the fight itself, not the hardest thing you'll do in the game. Not even close. You beat him up, he topples over, and the credits roll. Until, psych, he was faking you out and comes back for a more intense second phase. Now, this was before these kinds of fake-outs were overused, and the punny credits are pretty freaking awesome. But you kick some gator tail, and that's that. While he's not seen as much as I like, it seems like a more intentional decision to make the final act more impactful. And honestly, I really like that. It doesn't work as much when you know who the guy is already, but in a debut, this is a cool direction to take things, and I think earns him a spot in Elite. Donkey Kong Land is basically a do-over of the previous game. And like I just finished saying, the reveal is less dramatic when you already know who it is. So him being off-screen 99% of the time doesn't have the same effect. And when you do reach the final boss, he doesn't look the same. Like, at all. He's almost smaller than Donkey, and the fight no longer takes place on his iconic pirate ship. It's up in some random blimp, which is lame. I mean, he's still the main villain though, right? Well, not exactly. Apparently the plot wasn't even his idea. Frankie called him up to settle a bet and asked him to steal the bananas again, which is so odd. and in terms of K. Rool appearances, screams worthless to me. Donkey Kong Country 2 and Diddy's Conquest feels like a much better put-together plan by this guy, now dubbed Captain King. Since he foiled his plans last time, he starts by abducting Donkey Kong and holding him captive on his home turf, Crocodile Isle. Great man. Being in K. Rool's domain gives this game a much darker tone that fits really well. Now that challenging level design is matched with a more villainous atmosphere, as Diddy and Dixie venture through treacherous swamplands littered with enemies and traps. Once again, though, he's only seen for the final boss, and you're expecting it this time. But now, he's first seen torturing Donkey Kong, which paints him to be much more evil. Even the getup he's wearing has a much darker color scheme that makes you take him more seriously, if his eerie castle and crocodile-shaped airship weren't already enough for him. He still has a bit of that goofball energy, but I'd argue the side we see here is more unstable and chaotic, which is K. Rool at his finest. The way you damage him looks straight out of Looney Tunes, though, but the small punks aren't able to do it alone. It takes CJ breaking one of his restraints and with a nasty uppercut to finally take him out. But that's still not the last you'll see of him. If you complete all the stages in the super challenging Lost World, not that one, you make it to the inner depths of Crocodile Core and encounter the more battered K. Rool for a final battle. It plays about the same and isn't all that hard, but it shows the sheer dedication of this man. Even after being sent into the core just before the island implodes, he makes it out and sails off into the sunset. He has all the makings of an amazing villain, and this game highlights the pinnacle of his schemes and perseverance, debatably topping the first game, but unquestionably going up in elite. Donkey Kong Land 2 closely follows the events of Country 2, this time with no cranky nonsense like the first Land game. K. Rool's at it again, kidnapping Donkey, and once more gets fought twice. Being on the Game Boy really holds him back though, and limits how scary they can make his design, with both fights not feeling nearly as climactic as the home console version. He still plays the antagonist role quite nicely, but isn't a standout. He's your average video game baddie. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble brings the plot back to round out the trilogy. But for most of the game, we're led to believe the new villain is this robot named Chaos. First off, not that Chaos, but second, they kind of designed this thing to look a little more distinct. Seriously, it's a floating tin can. I mean, it's certainly one of the robots of all time, but it still somehow manages to capture both Donkey and Diddy, which makes it a formidable foe. After they wreck it, though, K. Rool reveals himself wearing a silly lab coat and helicopter jetpack, now going by the name Baron K. Rubenstein. And it just doesn't do it for me. Don't get me wrong, his evil lair looks pretty darn cool, but the mad scientist outfit looks way less intimidating than his previous get-ups, especially when he's not known for his smarts. Just seems like he's playing a character. And like the previous Country game, after beating him up, there's a secret world that ends in a bonus K. Rool fight, which he once again survives the aftermath of. This entry as a whole just feels like a rehashing of Country 2, without any noticeable improvements made for K. Rool's sake, and that'll end with spot in typical bad guy 2. Just like Land 2, this is a watered-down version of the respective Country game, but since DKC3's K. Rool isn't very special, this game doesn't disappoint as much, so it's going right alongside it. Donkey Kong 64 brings K. Rool to the third dimension and gives him more screen time than any game thus far. His crew builds him a fully mechanical island fortress, which is now equipped with a weapon of mass destruction called the Blastomatic, built solely to blow up Donkey Kong. At the start, the Kremlings capture every Kong not named Donkey and set out to distract him while the king prepares the camp. And unlike most other games, we see K. Rool as the game progresses. He's observing everything that's happening from the comfort of his throne, and laments about how incompetent his minions are, complete with an actual voice for the first time. And the funny thing is, it was inspired by Darth Vader of all characters, with a very deep, stern tone and the iconic heavy breathing, which is just not what I envisioned from the guy, but I can't deny it makes it seem more sinister. The Kongs end up stopping the weapon, but as K. Rool flees like usual, his own younger brother slashes his airship from the sky and forces him to face face the Kongs head-on. With nowhere else to turn, K. Rool readies for battle by throwing on his boxing attire and taking on the alias of King Crusher K. Rool. That fearsome facade he had in the beginning slowly wore away as his plans fell apart. And at this point, we're back to that chaotic, comical Croc we all know and love. But this final fight is nothing short of spectacular. It takes the abilities of all 5 Kongs, plus a cameo from Donkey Kong to fully take him down. If that's not more impressive than ever, then I don't know what it is. Each Kong uses all their special abilities and the arena around them to get any edge they can, because K. Rool is genuinely massive. Like, all Bro had to do was get his thirst for candy under control, and he still might. But alas, all good things must come to an end. This was the height of King K. Rool for decades, and still might be. Looking for an easy elite. Donkey Kong only throws him in to make fun. There's a minigame that's straight up called Bash K. Rool, and it rips off Whack-A-Mole, and as you hit bottom, to smack him, far would fall. Worthless. To do further damage to his reputation, DK King of Swing marks the first time his belly loses that gold-plated armor, instead being replaced with this fleshy tummy. It also severely lightens his intentions. The Kongs are planning a tournament at their Jungle Jam Festival, and K. Rool swoops in to steal all the prize medals, because reasons. DK gets him back throughout the game, and races K. Rool to nab the remaining. But after winning said race, K. Rool says that was just a warm-up, and that the real competition is a one-on-one brawl on the Pegasus. While this fight does adapt the core gameplay to a boss battle scenario, that doesn't stop it from being hella underwhelming. And his entire motive for the game is just to be a pain in the ass. Like, what's he planning on doing for those? On the plus side, though, he is an unlockable character for Jungle Jam, which marks his first playable appearance. And that sweetens the deal a decent bit, but I still can't go higher than typical back. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, the crappy racing game that somehow doesn't work with the bongos, is the first time K. Rool and DK aren't butting heads. There's no story mode or anything. All you gotta do is complete challenge number 31 and beat K. Rool in the race, unlocking him as a playable character. Seeing him usable once again is a huge W for the game. One of the only ones for that matter, but still, it's great to see him. It earns him a spot or rate here. Jungle Fighter may be an expansion of the gameplay from King of Swing, but the stakes are way higher, and it makes King Rool somewhat threatening once again. He's after the 5 crystal bananas this time, which have unprecedented power, and he wants to use them to take over the world. You encounter him a lot throughout the game, where he reveals more of his plan and sets up Kremling boss fights, which is a more active role than he usually has. Before, he's at most watching from the sidelines. It all culminates for one final battle, which plays almost identical to King of Swings, but thankfully, that's merely the first phase, because he then uses a crystal banana to grow bigger than he ever has, which sets up a very unique and memorable finale. Now, you're avoiding these gargantuan attacks and swinging across moving panels to deal damage, all the while K. Rool takes up both the S-screens and looks dead set on defeating you. This is what I call presentation, and an all-around elite King K. Rool. Mario Super Sluggers is the only time K. Rool ever appears in a Mario spin-off game, which I assume is only because of how many players you need in a baseball game. Still, it's weirdly awesome to see him out here with the Mario crew, but at its core, it's an average playable role. After being teased as a Mii costume in Smash 4, K. Rool finally got the recognition he deserved and became a full-fledged playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I was so freaking hyped for this. I painted him on the wall of my bedroom at the time, and from the day the game dropped, he's been my main. Now, you can look at the competitive tier list all you want and argue how low tier of a fighter he is, but here's the thing, I don't care. His design is phenomenal, and his moveset takes the best attacks from his older boss fights and beautifully works them in to create one super personality-filled arsenal of attacks. But as much as I love his inclusion, I still gotta put this one in playable but average. Bonanza was the first Donkey Kong game to feature K. Rool in 18 years, and his return was handled gloriously. They did a pretty good job hiding his inclusion before the game's release, and even in the beginning of the story, you're chasing down these villainous monkeys, and he doesn't doesn't reveal himself until you're a good bit through the game. His Vanadium brute form is one of, if not his all-time best form. And the battle taking place at the core of the planet makes the situation feel that much more dire. This fight puts all of Bonanza transformations to work, and is hard to beat. But when you do, the game pulls the same fake out as it did in the first Donkey Kong Country game, which was an amazing comeback. The second phase then has Campbell pull out his helicopter pad from the olden days and chase DK to the surface, which ups the intensity even more. And that's still not the end of it. They make it up to New Donk City, and Campbell begins overwhelming it with his power, creating a deadly obstacle course for the Kong to maneuver through, before one last confrontation that takes place in where better than a boxing ring. Perfect. The game ties together the old and the new to be a beautiful love letter to this character, and his King of Rot form looks more psychotic than ever. He just refuses to go down, and is at his utmost menace level, making for one last mega. And there.
You're at pocket.
Diddy. Everyone's favorite shirt-wearing, peanut-popping monkey. Sometimes he's the main hero and rescues Big Man Donkey Kong, and other times he gets replaced by his snowman. Today, we're going to look at Diddy Kong's character in every single game he appears in, and rank him from worthless to elite. Diddy Kong first appeared in the original Donkey Kong Country, where he's DK's partner in Crumb. I honestly never knew the full plot of this game, just that the Banana Horde was missing and the Crumblies were to blame. But apparently DK left Diddy in charge of watching him overnight, and that's when the bad guys struck, sealing him into a barrel and eating the place up everything. Thankfully though, he's rescued in the first 30 seconds of the game and is a co-main character throughout, traversing all the same obstacles as Donkey and having mostly the same abilities, though he's a bit more agile and fragile. The cool part is that he's playable all by himself too, and if DK goes down, you can continue on as just Diddy, so he's not overly reliant on anything. He's a fully capable character. I think that warrants an elite tier. Even if it doesn't start out the best for him, it's one hell of a redemption. Donkey Kong Land is a handheld port and retelling of the original Country game, so with Diddy's role being the same as before, it's getting ranked right up there. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, is a pretty self-explanatory placement. The game opens with Donkey Kong getting captured this time, and instead of being in a barrel right outside, he's being held captive on K. Rool's ship, so you don't get his help until all the way at the end, leaving Diddy as his only. This guy's got game, though. He risks up some paint rod, and her ponytail ass travels to the ends of the earth with him, working as a team, rescuing Donkey Kong, and defeating a full-on crocodile army as two small monkeys. It makes him out to be the leader, and more competent than ever before, and saving his mentor/father figure is surely deserving of an elite too. And since Donkey Kong Land 2 does the same thing with him, I'm doing the same thing with him. The second Donkey Kong game is named after Dixie Kong, because now both Donkey and Diddy get kidnapped and don't contribute at all. Instead, it's her and Kiddy Kong that come to the rescue, and needing these two to bail you out seems pretty freaking worthless. But this time, the third land game doesn't have the two of them getting captured. Instead, they're just absent, so he ain't even getting right to. Diddy Kong got his very own flagship racing game for the N64, and he may have been shipped for Mario Kart 64, but this game's got flying vehicles and a story mode, so suck on that. Outside of it being named after him, though, there's other playable characters that you can use as much as you want in both multiplayer and the main campaign. Now, that's not a bad thing, obviously having some kind of roster is a must, but he has no standout significance outside of that, and he only really gets that because, well... It seems like a disservice to him, but he's really just an average playable character in the game. In Donkey Kong 64, we get a way bigger cast of Kongs than ever before, but anyone not named Donkey gets locked up right at the start, but it doesn't last very long. Diddy's the first one rescued.
I will turn them into red mist. True warrior needs no weapon.
Alright. Hold on, am I even live? Does it show that I'm live? Yep, it does. It's just that nobody's here. That's fine.
Patience is a virtue of the honorable. The weapon of the victorious. I will honor this machine by slaying many.
that's in the first half an hour of the game. So from that point on, he's a playable character, and a damn good one at that. He's dual-wielding the peanut pop guns, which are classic. He's got the rocket barrel boost, which is the best barrel move in the game and allows him to fly, and he's just the most fun to play at. Overall, it's a lot like the first Country game. K-Rool gets him at the start, but once he's free, he can go off on his own and contribute a ton. So, please. In the Donkey Kong games, Diddy and DK go on tour as bongo musicians. And while Diddy seemed to be a pretty good player, he only does anything in multiplayer, meaning you need to buy a second set of bongos. Without that, it's just DK playing. They're not a band. Diddy's at the bottom of the screen dancing and plays the exact same role as this fucking elephant dude. Cameo Tear's the best I can do for both of these. DK King of Swing's main adventure mode has you taking control of just Donkey Kong, but after beating it and collecting all 24 medals, you unlock Diddy mode, where it's basically a hard mode where you control Diddy Kong, so it's showing him to be just as, if not more capable than the big gorilla himself. But if that's the case and he's not helping during the main conflicts, it can't go any higher than playable but average, and that's being generous. Diddy Kong Racing DS isn't a sequel, it's a port that swaps out Banjo and Conker for Dixie and Tiny, so Diddy Kong remains as the average player of Sega. DK Jungle Climbers offers us more of that sweet, sweet King of Swing gameplay, but now Diddy Kong's riding along on DK's back and gives him a slew of new moves. You can launch him to places the Big Ape can't get to, and use a variety of powers, which come in clutch and allow them to take down the oh-so-menacing King King. It's not independent whatsoever. He's a prime contributor that's vital to saving the day. So since he's attached to Donkey's back the entire time, he gets jetpack points. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast is the forgotten bongo game, as they scrapped the GameCube version and pushed it on Wii as a shipping launch title and shoehorned in terrible motion controls to simulate hitting controls. It doesn't work. Still, Diddy's just as prominent here as he is in any of his own racing games, being selectable whenever you want and not standing out a whole lot. So, Donkey Kong Country Returns brings the classic duo back to the forefront for their first 2D platformer since the original almost 2 decades prior. Diddy Kong takes a serious backseat. Instead of being a standalone Kong that travels alongside Donkey, he rides on his back to give him 2 extra hit points and a jetpack to slow his descent and make jumps a bit easier. Honestly, he's just a glorified power. That is until you switch to multiplayer, where Player 2 takes control of the little guy as a completely separate thing. He's by far the better player. If single player offered it all by himself, he'd be gone. But since that's not the case, it's going just below that as a jetpack. So, Freeze starts off with DK and his pals celebrating his birthday, when they're abruptly and so rudely interrupted by a bunch of snowmans that freeze DK on. So they set out for adventure, and like DKC Returns, it's Donkey that takes center stage, while Diddy just kinda offers up his jetpack and takes the free thing back. This game's also got Daisy Kong and Cranky Kong, though, so Diddy's seen it way less often, and it's no longer the definitive choice of Player 2. Even still, since his role is the same as Returns, it's going right next to this. Donkey Kong Bonanza just hit the scene, and Diddy Kong was essentially replaced by a younger version of Pauline. She's DK's companion. Diddy is pretty much non-existent. We only see him through the Randy Rumble, where he's running the scene out front alongside Dixie Kong. It's certainly better than nothing, and I'm glad he's at least here, but it's really just a cameo. He also appears in a ton of movie spin-offs, since he is crazy. But instead of going through each of those one by one and just alongside Dixie Kong, it's certainly better than nothing, and I'm glad he's at least here, but it's really just a cameo. He also appears in a ton of movie spin-offs, since he is crazy. But instead of going through each of those one by one and just saying he's average, I'm gonna highlight some of his more goals. In Smash Bros. Brawl, he plays a decent role in Subspace Emissary and is playable for quite a few levels. When we first see him, he and DK once again would claim their stash of bananas. But then Bowser shows up and tries to turn the oblivious little guy into a statue. But Donkey Kong steps in and knocks him out of the way and takes the hit himself. What a guy. Once he's off on his own, he gets joined by Rayquaza and is basically toast until Fox shows up and frees him. That's 2 straight saves for that. Not a great start. But then he drags along Fox and later some more guys to help him rescue DK, which he does manage to pull off, so it's a solid redemption. I wish I could give him more credit here, but he's made out to be kind of a scary cat and is a little too dependent on help from others, so anything higher than average would be outright incorrect. Beyond that, though, there's honestly no other major spin-off appearances from the guy. But I will say, he wasn't added to Mario Kart Deluxe until the final wave of DLC and got outright ignored for Mario Kart World is insane. He's a trademark character. the Donkey Kong series and Mario spin-off games. Justice for Dave. And there we go. And if you want to watch more DK content, check out my other video ranking Donkey Kong's role in every game. And leave some Bonanza-related video ideas down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
Until you are all destroyed. On this day, tormented soul.
Galil is still killing. Like, I'm actually shocked that this Galil is still as strong as it is on round 19.
No, I kill you.
No, I kill you.
Double points. The past of the virtuous gives great gifts. Give me that I'm still better off with Arasaka. I will rain fire on the dishonorable. Vengeance waits for no ammunition.
Alright, Galil and the M72 long.
I will honor this machine by slaying many. Much better. Vengeance waits for no ammunition. Now this is what I'm talking about. This does not suit a warrior.
Alright. CZ75 becomes the Lamentation. Not the Lamentation. This is the Lamentation. This becomes the Calamity. Oh. Dude, the fact that it's still killing right here. Everybody's starting to show up now. Hello. Oh my. Hello. And as soon as I say that, one person leaves. Good to know. Okay, so we'll pack-a-punch this gun, and then we will go and... what the fuck is it called? Actually, no. We'll wait till after we pack a punch this Calamity, and then we will go and open up to the storage area of the Kino map. The Kino map.
May the weapon be blessed by the ancestor. The weapon of the victorious.
All right, CZ75. That makes, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 box weapons left. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and open this way. Just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Found another rock. Maybe they stole this from Japan.
I mean, I am pretty thirsty, but not for double tap. I'm gonna have to get Mule Kick whenever I get that Thunder Gun. I'm not even pushing my joystick, by the way. Okay, now I'm... Okay, hold on. Let's see that again. Hold on. What the hell? Hold on. Oh. Alright.
Not on this day, tormented soul.
Alright.
Everyone's favorite member of the DK crew. Sometimes he's got his own freaking country, other times he's a ruthless, mean gorilla, and other times he's got used circus animal. Today, we're going to get the Cook's character in every game he appears in and rank it from worthless to worthless. Going all the way back to 1981, the original Donkey Kong arcade games seem to take more intimate this time. He was part of his girlfriend lady, drags her to the top of the construction site, and puts the barrels down at the trip pump. He's the favorite closest to Kong or Cranky Kong. For the sake of this video, we're taking at face value and see that this version of the grown Donkey Kong is pretty capable and definitely a big bad one. Just like the last game, Donkey Kong Jr. has some controversial for which Donkey Kong is the real one. The one that was the link in this video takes the physical step back from the last time. Was hit, Exterminator was called to stop DK from Wrecking Dreamers. He's nowhere near as iconic as Mario, so losing to this planet isn't the greatest loss. Like look at what friends do, he's still a big bad monkey. And yes, I know the trilogy's been ported numerous times, but I'm not gonna rank all those re-releases because the placements would be the exact same. Junior Battle is a learning tool with gameplay that resembles Donkey Kong Jr., pretty self-explanatory, but now a DK is stepping up and making it fun.
I'll continue.
Donkey Kong Circus is a Game & Watch exclusive where Mario straight up abuses and humiliates the giant ape. He makes it balance on a barrel, juggle pineapples, and laps through space when he gets burned. As impressive as it is for DK to have that level of balance, not something for Mario and just taking the mistreatment makes it look pretty good. His other Game & Watch title inspires Donkey Kong competing with Mario in another Fiction Kong ripoff skin to be fun. This actually has two detached controllers. Art style is beautiful on the hardware, and puts Donkey Kong from being an obscure Mario villain to the otherwise, it's nothing special. A group of rocks called the Kremlings steal his entire banana board and really piss him off, making him spring in the action to go kick some reptilian ass. Him and Diddy Kong kill you! While Geisler's Andrew makes him William DK and defeat the great King K. Rool. It'd be crazy to put this one anywhere but in it. Donkey Kong Land is basically a watered-down version of the first DKC game. You play as Donkey and Diddy the entire way through, and they save the day no problem. If the last one got a lead, I think it's only fair to put this one on their way. Donkey Kong Country 2 is Suffolk's Diddy's conquest for a reason, because before the game even starts, Donkey Kong gets kidnapped and needs Diddy and Dixie to step up and save him. You don't even see the Great Ape in-game until the final boss, where he's all tied up and occasionally pops into frame looking absolutely dumbfounded at what's happening. But after Diddy and Dixie stun King Rool, Donkey Kong breaks himself out of captivity and strikes in the next Tuesday. Wait, he could have broken himself out this entire time a little sooner. What have a night to do? Next one up. I mean, he did land the fatal blow, so I think I can give him the smallest bit of credit. He barely does it. Just like the first Donkey Kong Land, the simply follows the events of the corresponding country games on TVC.
I will use the strength.
Diddy's Castle 2. Diddy Kong will come to the rescue. Yeah, I don't care. You have little shit since 94, dude. I couldn't care less what you think. More folks. Buying this for your dosage of DK, and it's not even there. It'd be swearing.
I've finished.
And his four fellow Kong pals get kidnapped, so he goes to the rescue as the main people character and explores this massive 3D world, collecting all of the things there are other playable Kongs later in the game.
I kill you!
Konga is a Dickens the main guy here, and he and Diddy go on tour to become famous musicians. Very simple premise, but it does the job just fine, and the gameplay is really fun and Donkey Kong themed, making this a pretty savage look for DK. And since the second game releases the same shit on a different day, it's gonna look very it's received to a bunch of weeks. Even the best Mario is not
Earth and Beast!
TV and Dreamcast. Why?
Earth and Beast!
He gets pissed and races. Retrieves all the toys, then he mounts into space and
I kill you!
As giant apes do. He gets mad, grabs a couple toads, and climbs a super high tower, which Mario, of course, rescues him from. But after DK loses and he's crying about it, Mario decides to try and cheer him up by giving him one of the toys. So he still gets his way, even if it leaves him in lives in danger and committing crimes.
It's full of the yet this thing looks pretty advanced for probably. Somebody wants my day activity again. Comic games, totally different. Themselves is pretty seamless and satisfying. This is quite impressive too. He knows to being the good spirit.
No one.
Swing safekeeping in the middle of the fucking field. And after Cable steals up, Donkey swings into action, Evil Steve Irwin's his ass, and allows the festivities to continue. He's the main hero, but the stakes are a lot lower compared to his other protagonistic roles. And with a less impactful feel overall, it can't quite keep up with the elites. I like Fred's attitude. Marching the Minis is mostly the same as the original game, but now Dorothy's motive makes a hell of a lot more sense. Rather than just wanting some random toy, Pauline shows up for some ribbon-cutting ceremony and chooses Mario's toy over the DK. That's not to make it looking justified. Let's play on the same note. Demon Spawn is a boss in each world, and at the end, he loses, but is chewed up by the hero show the same game. There's a sequel to King of Swing, and plot-wise as well as pretty similar. But the only trouble with Diddy Kong that held up a bit, which would water down the placement, but since K. Rool is much more menacing this time around, Barrel Blast, the walking meme, is basically Mario Kart if nobody tried and they kind of chose to be as cumbersome as possible. It's a big, long-title racing game for the Wii, and Donkey Kong's fundamentally unfair. So playable but average. Minis game is the DS game that features essentially the same result as the previous game, so another free average build. Mid-play game is Donkey Kong yet again getting pissed at a product not being in stock. Standard Mario vs. DK with DK platformers, and it's one of the best games in the genre to this day. It takes the classic DK style and evolves its modern platforms flawlessly, keeping the trademark difficulty intact and giving life in gameplay like never before. He's the main playable character with a more versatile and practical concept. Which is an awesome mission. I kill you! It's not much of a game, so I can't give it more credit than it really does anything. Freeze almost DKC returns in the best possible way. Gameplay with new bombs and this could be my favorite tool out of the game. Listening in behind it all gives me yet another starts its most recent Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. It's not like all the others, but after Mario beats the game, it's revealed that DK's not actually that guy. Instead,
Love this play.
Features Donkey Kong as one of the amiibo skins for the 8-bit gameplay style. If Mario plus Rabbids is a boss, which is similar in feel but not him. The real DK isn't seen until the Donkey Kong story expansion pack, where he's the focal point of like a 10-hour bonus adventure, which is a ton of extra content and a pretty substantial
in space!
Put it up in pretty simple year.
Kneel before the Emperor!
It's shaping up to be the greatest Donkey Kong game. I cannot wait to play it. It's like an over-sci-fi Mario Odyssey where you can demolish anything you want and have these massive open world terrains. It's not yet, but I know it's clear cut. And I'd be remiss to leave out all the spin-offs, your cards, parties, and sports games. But DK is a stable character. It brings the imageries of the series, so they don't go playable but average. Not even gonna bother placing them. And before you go, if you're not on the Switch stock yet, now's the time to spend it out, because currently they're on sale for just $10 a pop on AccelerateGaming.com. That's the cheapest they've ever been. These make traveling with your Nintendo Switch
true warrior needs no weapon. With this, I will purge this place. I have acquired the Thunder Gun.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, actually. I have the Thunder Gun now, so I'm gonna go buy Mule Kick. Like, that's literally the first thing I'm gonna do, is buy Mule Kick. And then with that, we can go ahead and get 2 guns out of the way.
I will end their suffering.
And we're not gonna pack-a-punch the Thunder Gun just yet.
A true warrior forges his own blade. A weapon is an extension of one's own honor. Consequences will never be the same. Much better.
There we go. Alright.
This cursed plague ends here. I will blast them apart. Roller!
And that leaves us with the Commando and the Spaz 12.
As easy as the final boss fights are all over the place in quality. Even with Bowser taking the spotlight 90% of the time, he's got plenty of gimmicks up his sleeve that range from menacing as hell to... Today, we're going to look at the final boss fight in every mainline Mario game and rank them from peak to bleak. The original Super Mario Bros. Game introduces King Koopa, and each world ends with a fight against a look-alike, which more than prepares you for the last encounter versus the guy himself. He throws a bunch of hammers and burns fire, which makes it the most
Look out for the
but
short
still not
zombie.
very challenging. If you show up with a fire flower, you kill him no problem. With a mushroom, you can just tank a hit, knock down the bridge, and even with nothing, some decent timing will do the trick. It's anticlimactic, and feels stale for being a slight variation of every other fight in the game. This is bleak, and same thing for the lost levels, even with the little fire bar they added. Now, the castles that lead to these fights are a completely different story, so if you want to see a video ranking each of those, let me know below.
They are my
This Mario
uniform.
2 introduces a brand new villain to terrorize Mario. Wart. But right before that fight commences, you fight the bird whose mouth you've been crawling through. Which is a really fun twist. Did no one else question why this was the gateway between levels? All you do is pick up these mushroom-looking things and toss them at a few times, which is how you beat most other
I
bosses in this game.
will honor
So
this
it works.
machine by slaying many. Now with more honor.
Hi Sry, I missed the Among Us stream. I didn't get a notification for it.
It's okay, Mr. Alligators. Yeah.
What's your feet? You had an unhappy ending.
Okay, so train with the thunder gun, just in case you get stuck.
What is the timer for?
What timer? What timer are you talking about?
In the bottom left.
Bottom left? Oh, that's the round counter. It tells you what round you're on, and I'm on round 24. With each round, there more zombies will spawn, and they'll get stronger and faster. So the ultimate goal of zombies is to get. So the ultimate goal of zombies is to get to the highest round you can, especially in the older games because there's no Easter egg on this map. But today I'm doing a challenge where I have to upgrade every single gun in this map, and I'm going to be doing that throughout the rest of the series. Okay, let's go ahead and while I could have easily, hold on.
Be destroyed. The tide tips in our favor.
That seems like hell.
Sometimes they like to keep it. They will die without honor.
I'm pretty sure I already got the L96A1, but I already got the FAL too, so we're gonna go ahead and grab this gun.
Why don't you use melees?
I mean, I could show you why. See that right there. That's why I don't use them.
Meditation time over.
All right. Whoop. So now what we got to do is we got to get our perks back.
Ah, this water makes me fear of the light.
Why don't you use them in round 1 or 2 when the zombies are slower?
I do. It helps you make more points by doing that.
Quick, kill as many as you can.
Alright, so we're going to stick with just Jug and Quick Revive right now, and we're not going to get Speed Cola or Mule Kick. We're just going to use this M16 to stack up on points. So unfortunately, I mean, I thought I'd never say this, unfortunately, we lost the Ballistic Knife, which, I mean, we can always get that back, but at the same time, I'm just glad we didn't lose the Thunder Gun, because this bad boy can at least help us, you know, blast the zombies out of the way.
What does the Thunder Gun do?
Okay. I'll show you what it does. Oh no! I got a whole horde of zombies on me.
1,000 thunderclaps!
And just like that, with a click of a button, most of them are gone. I say most of them because this gun has not been pack-a-punched yet.
Will be destroyed.
Holy shit, that's off.
You say it's OP now, wait until it's Pack-a-Punched. It gets more ammo, 4 shots instead of just 2 in the mag, and it does a little more damage. The only thing I would say is outright bad about the Thunder Gun is the lack of ammunition, but it's a moderate balance for the amount of sheer power that it has. Okay, don't get cocky now. Don't get cocky now. You may have a captive audience with you, but don't get cocky. That makes it all the more embarrassing if you fall right in front of them. There we go.
Strike is weak.
And now it doesn't seem like we're killing them, but what we're doing is we're stacking up on our points that you see in the top right corner. Not the top right, but like the bottom right corner.
When you get 10k in Ghana say, it's over 9,000.
I already mapped 10k. I'm at 15k right now.
Happy ending.
Ooh, motherfucker, I almost got trapped right there.
Wow.
See, that's 15,000 points right there.
BRB.
Copy that, brother. I'll be right here. My face itches.
No, I meant in subs. I was about to check how much subs you got.
Bigger than yours. Amazing.
You know what? We're gonna go ahead and go Pack-a-Punch now. So I'll need to go get a new weapon from the mystery box over here. I'm gonna go over here and grab a new mystery box gun. I would Pack-a-Punch this gun, but I want to save this gun in particular for the very last gun, because I could just continuously buy it off the wall and just keep getting points out of it. Okay, so the box moved instead of giving us a weapon, so we're just going to buy this weapon right here instead.
Don't take out your Thunder Gun.
Well, obviously I'm not going to trade in my Thunder Gun. I'm not that stupid. It's a gun we need for us to stay alive for the remainder of the game.
Looking for more ammunition.
Yes, Takio. We do need to look for more ammunition.
Good boy.
Hey, yo. Why are you calling me that, man?
The honorable.
Alright. Gets much more ammo.
Consequences will never be the same. A weapon is an extension of one's own honor.
Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 total weapons left that we need to Pack-a-Punch. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go buy Mule Kick. Buy this gun right here, buy this perk right here.
What is Pack-a-Punch? You said upgrade.
I mean, that is basically what Pack-a-Punching is. It's basically the equivalent of upgrading a gun. For 5,000 points, you can upgrade a gun of your choice.
Speed cola, speed up your life.
Like, when I say Pack-a-Punch, that basically means upgrade.
Okay.
Get back! Double points! Now we can continue the fight.
Do you understand why I don't use melee weapons now? Like, it's way too late of a round for us to be, you know, trying to knife them. And the dogs are coming.
Yes.
I fear no dog. One by one, we will curse them from afar.
Okay, I got both snipers, so we can get those out of the way.
That's where the "fetch me their souls" sound effect comes from.
Yeah. Well, it first came from Call of Duty World at War, zombies. Max Blammo.
Oh, blessings come from above.
So we'll go reinitiate the link to the pad, and we will go and link the pad to the core. What the fuck is that reticle sight? That ugly ass thing. That is the ugliest reticle sight I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so same thing as normal. And of course, when the Thunder Gun is upgraded, it gets a different name as well. It's called the Zeus Cannon now, which, I mean, it's a pretty self-explanatory name.
I wanna be a streamer just because you not any famous streamer.
Well, I mean, I'm nowhere near famous, and I may, like, okay, so, it's a funny story. Literally the only reason that I became a streamer is because I figured out, while I was playing Among Us on mobile one day, that I could screen record my videos and post them onto YouTube. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, I used to just watch other YouTubers and be like, oh, I'll never be like that, I'll never get the proper equipment. But now look at it. 5 years in the making. Yes, that's literally it. That's literally the only reason that I started streaming on YouTube.
Continuance is strength.
And I wasn't always streaming on PlayStation. Like, I first started off as just playing on mobile games. You know, recording mobile games, uploading them onto YouTube, and just... yeah. Literally my first video was me playing Among Us. So, even though it may seem like I picked it up recently, you know, Among Us will always hold a special place in my heart. Like, you see how we made that clear?
Wait,
and you see how fucking terrible that one. Well, what I will warn you, when you do check it, there's no dialogue from me. I didn't speak for a while. Like, it took me a while to figure out how to communicate with people in the video, but mainly I would communicate to people through the titles of the video or the description of the video. And I think the first video that ever featured my voice was a guide on how to beat Death Park.
Continue to your ancestors. I am possessed by the power of the Emperor. This strike was weak. In this day, summon a soul.
No! That fucking crawler! Literally, that fucking crawler is what got me. That fucking crawler right there.
Monkeys, 4 from 3.
No, I gotta go. No.
You will be destroyed. You have been vanquished.
That is just embarrassing. Just straight up fucking embarrassing. No.
This water makes me pure delight. You will be destroyed.
No, don't leave me. Don't leave me, quick revive.
No Hikareki. Where is my ammunition? You have been vanquished. The dam will be destroyed.
Ugh. I took another down while you were gone.
By the might of House and thunderclaps! Satan no Hikareki! You have been vanquished!
No.
Much honor.
Alright, now I need to go re-grab Jug.
Satan no Hikareki!
No. Well, I mean, I had the Thunder Gun. Fuck you.
I kill you! I have finished. None shall remain!
And the M16 Pack-a-Punch becomes the Skull Crusher.
Forges his own brain. Much better.
Alright, Noob Tube in it. Yeah, at that point I pretty much just gave up after taking 3 consecutive downs in the same round.
We need to bring right to this dark place.
Okay. I just need a breather.
I'm back and you were right.
Oh. At this point, hold on, let me mute my mic. I gotta go take a piss. Oh. Oh.
Home sweet home.
Shit! Sounds like all hell is breaking loose here. Better get out, quick! That really hurts, Sandy! Nicely kind of bruise. So, they want to shake things up a bit. Talking.
Hey,
Bring us here.
What's up, buddy?
Who else wants some of this?
I told you you're gonna die today.
Not a chance, flesh sower. Shit! Sounds like all hell is breaking loose here. Better get out, quick!
There's all the zombies. Where the fuck were you all earlier?
why don't you stay near the Pack-a-Punch, and I think zombies can spawn there, so why don't you do that?
I mean, yeah, they can. But the point of what I'm trying to do, basically, is gather up enough points and then purchase that red perk machine right there. So that way I can get a lot stronger. Oh, okay. But, yeah, okay, fuck that. No, we're not doing this one. I don't want to play Black Ops 2.
It's up to you, Mason. It's all up to you.
Shut up, Hudson. Man, fuck it, we'll try it again.
What Black Ops game are you playing?
Black Ops 1.
We must get to the teleporter.
Oh, hello, Richtofen.
Okay.
Give me more!
No! The one chance I fucking had. The one chance I fucking had. You know what, Rick Toppin, we're fine.
I'ma listen to your stream and play QFED.
Alright, you do that. Actually, hold that thought, because I'm probably going to end this stream and go play a different game. I'm still going to stream that game, you know, I'm just going to hang out and chill. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute.